Good morning, everybody. It's been a minute since I've done this. I know it's been a little crazy here, but I have three of these that I need to get soldered this morning. I have been out of stock of them for a while, so they're going to be available as soon as they're done. And as always, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'm kind of going to just do my thing. Good morning. How are you? Hey, Hogan. I'm just getting some stuff soldered. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to chat. How are you this morning? Good morning. How are you? Good. Up to anything fun today? Any fun plans for the day? Ooh, that sucks. I couldn't do it. I have to get up stupid early for work tomorrow, but fair enough. I'm sure mine will make an appearance here some point soon. They usually like to walk across whatever I'm working on. I am not. I'm still waking up as well. I'm just drinking my coffee. That sounds terrible. Mine starts at 5:30 on Monday morning, but that's way more doable than 11 p.m. on Sunday. So this is I usually have these in stock. These like sunburst things with the moon face in them. But yeah, I'm more of a night owl too. I just have to be at work by 7 a.m. So 5:30 it is. I'm just trying to get some stuff back in stock that I'm out of because Christmas season is coming up and you know how that goes. Craft shows just about every weekend, online orders, all that fun stuff. So we're making 3 of these today. So I don't have to worry about them for a while. Or they should hold me over for a bit then. I do. I usually have some stuff in stock. I mean, most things that I make, I try to make. If there's stuff that I know that I usually sell, I usually make 2 or 3 of them at a time, or 4, depending on like my mermaids that I make. I usually make 4 of those at a time. So I usually have some in stock, so that way, if one sells, I don't immediately have to go and grab, um, go and try to make a new one. I can just grab one of the duplicates and take that with me to the next show. It makes my life a little bit easier, just knowing that I have back stock of most stuff. But I am completely out of these, so that's why I'm making 3 of them. What do you make? Oh, nice. I have like that metal. I have metal sea creatures on my walls. I like the metal stuff. I can't do it, but I like it. Do you do shows, or do you just sell online, or just to people that know you, or what do you do? Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't actually don't have any crabs. I have seahorses, I have dolphins, I have maybe that's all that I have right now are seahorse and a dolphin metal creatures. I think it is. Um I'm a beach bum. Most things that I make are, ocean related, but oh, nice. That's not a bad idea. I have an Etsy store and I really don't push it anymore because Etsy is ridiculous in their fees. So I kind of just have it there. And if people buy stuff on it, they buy stuff on it. I more push my website, which I think is what's linked here anyway. I know it's linked here because, like I said, I don't actually push the Etsy store anymore. But yeah, I do a lot of shows though. I do like a lot of craft shows and stuff. That's where I sell most of my stuff. Once in a while, when I post something on Facebook, it'll get picked up right away, but not usually. And that's okay. Oh yeah, Etsy's I wouldn't like it's so I've been on Etsy for years. Let me start by saying that. I it used to be a lot better than it is now. And at this point, I don't really advertise the Etsy store anywhere. Like not even on my business cards. They just take out a ton in fees, and they take out fees on like postage now, which is absolutely ridiculous because I'm charging postage like what it is. Um, but they their fees are just ridiculous. Like if it's like $100 piece or something, I think if I get $80 from it, it's a lot. There have been times that I've gotten less than that, just after all the fees that they take out. So my prices on Etsy are also higher than they are on my website or anything else to try to compensate for that a little bit because the supplies for this are not cheap. And when Etsy takes that big of a cut, I'm like, I can't do it if I keep them at the same prices that I have everywhere else. So, like I said, it's nice for passive every now and then, but at the same time, their fees are ridiculous. And they're just getting worse. And I've sold enough on Etsy that I can't opt out of their marketing campaigns or whatever it is. And if somebody buys it from that link, like they take out, I think it's like 25% or something it adds up to. It's stupid. On top of their normal fees. So I'm like, I can't do this. So Etsy prices are higher on just about everything, I think. By a good like anywhere from $5 to $20, depending on the piece. But yeah. So I don't know. It is what it is. So I'm gonna solder all of these first, I think, because like I said, I have 3 of these to solder. I think I'm gonna solder them and then I'm gonna put the frames on them because it's just a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. If people have another option besides Etsy at this point, I buy it from their other option, but a lot of people still use Etsy exclusively. So I just, yeah. But, so what I was saying is I'm going to put frames on these, but I think I'm going to frame them all after I'm done soldering them all because it'll be easier. They absolutely do. But yeah, they totally got greedy and ruined it. And not only that, so when Etsy first started, they only allowed handmade stuff, which was the draw of it. It was a handmade marketplace. And then they started letting drop shippers on and mass market produce stuff. And so now it's just like you have to actually look to find the handmade stuff. And that kind of defeated the purpose of what Etsy was supposed to be. It was supposed to be handmade, and it's not anymore. It's drop shipped. A lot of it's drop shipped mass market. I'm like, I could get that on Amazon if I wanted that. Like if I want the handmade stuff, Etsy's not the place to go to anymore. For sure. And I can't compete with the mass market stuff. This is all made by hand. You know, the supplies for it are expensive. Glass is expensive. Solder is stupid expensive still. So I can't compete with mass market or mass produced stuff from China. So it is what it is. Good morning, everybody. But yeah, so that's my little Etsy rant for the day. Sorry. Wasn't trying to go there, but yeah. But no, I try to keep my website up to date. I'm bad about it sometimes. Right. And people don't realize that. People are like, oh, it's handmade, and then they want it cheaper. I'm like, no, it's handmade. It's going to be more expensive. There's, by definition, handmade is, well, not by definition, but generally handmade is more expensive. And a lot of people do it to me at craft shows all the time. They're like, well, I could get this someplace else for cheaper. I'm like, okay, then go ahead. Or they're like, that's so expensive. I'm like, the supplies are, and it's time consuming. You see how long it's taking me to solder one piece. And that's after I've already cut it out and foiled it. And this is an easy piece to solder. It's all straight lines. So it's just, the people do that all the time. Or they'll be like, well, what's your lowest price that you're going to go on this? I'm like, well, it's listed at a price. That's the price for it. And my feeling on that is you don't walk into a store and ask somebody to, like, you don't walk into the store and say, if I buy these, will you give me a better deal? So why is it okay to do that at like a craft show? Because that's all generally handmade stuff. Like somebody's actually making that versus a machine making it or whatever, or just ordering it and then reselling it. So if you're not going to do that at a store, why is it okay to do it at a craft show? I don't understand that. So I generally say, you know, the price is the price that's there. I don't really haggle at craft shows. I'm not really a fan of it. Just again, my little rant. But a lot of people think that because it's handmade, it should be cheaper. And that's absolutely not the case. Just things I found after, you know, years of doing this. But yeah. Right, exactly. Like I'm not selling anything that's a necessity. You don't need stained glass for your house. You don't. You might want it, but you don't need it. So if you can't afford it, either save up for the piece that you want, which I'm happy to, if it sells out, I'm happy to remake it. Or you don't buy it. It's not like it's food that you need to live or something. So yeah, I worked in retail too. Nothing that people does surprises me anymore. Or my favorite though, when I'm at a craft show, we count. At this point, I just keep count. How many people come in and either they're like, oh, I do that, or I know somebody who did that, who does stained glass. I'm like, and I'm always just like, okay. I'm like, I don't know why it's a competition, but they always feel the need to tell me that they do stained glass, or like, oh, my mom used to do stained glass, or my dad used to do stained glass, or my grandma or my grandpa or somebody. I'm just like, okay, like, good. I'm happy for you. Are they still doing it? Because if not, I'll buy their supplies. Because I always need more glass. Because I go through a lot. I make a lot of stuff. I go through a lot of glass. Like I buy, people are selling their stained glass, getting out of it. I will buy it. I don't care what glass colors they have because I use that much. But I'm always like, yep, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to buy it. Now you're going to have to give me a second. I don't know how well I can talk and try to figure out what colors go where. I'm talented. I don't know that I have that much attention span right now. I haven't finished my coffee yet. See, I never got to do stained glass in art class in the 90s. I wish that I would have. But I didn't. But I definitely do it now. Obviously. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail your train of thought. My bad. Okay, how badly did I derail your train of thought? Ah, gotcha. Okay, just checking. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if I had derailed it, so that's why I was asking. Okay. There we go. That one's pretty much put together now. Now I just need to clear it up. Give me a second. So what is everybody else up to this morning? I wasn't trying to sort the glass. I was trying to figure out where the pieces went. Because otherwise they're not going to fit in the right way. This is a relatively easy one to figure out where the pieces go, though, just because it's a rainbow, and I put them in rainbow order. So it was just more of a which one goes on which side. Okay. One more to go after this one. Give me 1 second. They are! From pink to purple. Even though pink's not technically one of the colors of the rainbow, but still. We're going with it. Okay. Exactly. I know there's no pink, but we're starting with pink on this one. On these. Because why not? So I have two different colors of these moons, these faces, if you didn't notice. The other one was blue. And then this one's white, and then the last one's going to be blue again. Just because I had 3 cut out. So, you know. But yeah. So I'm going to solder this one. I'm going to solder the next one, and then I'll do the frame on all 3 of them. And then I'll take a picture, and then they'll be ready for sale. Well, I'll probably put a patina on them too, but that has to happen after the frame. So, okay. The hardest part of these, I swear, is getting that center piece soldered on and looking pretty. Oh, thank you. Hold on, I'll show you the one that I just soldered. So it's going to be this. And then it's going to get a frame on it. I'm making 3 of them. So it'll look like this. And then this is the second one. The third one's going to look just like this with that blue blue centerpiece. And then I'll put the frame on them after I solder all 3. And then they'll be up and available. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been out of stock of these for a hot minute, so I'm trying to get them back in stock since Christmas season is coming up and all that fun stuff. Hi, how are you this morning? I love when people actually talk to me while I'm doing this. There's so many times that I log on and I start soldering. I'll just put an audiobook on because no one wants to talk to me. And then I feel like I'm talking to myself. And I don't really enjoy talking to myself. Happy to talk while people are talking, though, always. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we both have the same initials. It's really funny, actually. I was watching her one time. She's like, "You're LL too?" I'm like, "Yeah." But mine is actually because it's my last name and my mom's last name both begin with L. And we both do the stained glass. So it's kind of a joint business. I'm the only one that streams, though. So it just worked out. But it was funny because we were like, have pretty much the same name-ish. And I haven't been on in a hot minute. It's been a little crazy in my life around here lately. So this is the first time I've streamed in probably like a month and a half. Well, I appreciate it, guys. It's going to be hit or miss lately or for the next little bit because I'm in my mom just moved down here. So they were living with me for like a month and a half till they found a house to buy. And then I'm going to be putting my house up for sale and moving in with them until I find a new house to buy because the market's just crazy and I don't want to be homeless. So, but with all the chaos of them being here and then them moving and then me packing to move, and it's going to be hit or miss for a little bit. But my house is my house at the moment, so I can actually, I'm like, wait, I don't feel like ridiculous being in this room talking to myself or what sounds like talking to myself. So it's, I'm like, I got to get back into the swing of things because it's Christmas season and there are lots of shows coming up and I need inventory because I'm kind of low. Oh, no, it's good. It's not rough. It's not rough. My mom and I get along really, really well. So it works out, which is also why I wasn't working on glass because we were doing a gazillion other things and just having fun. So, and not working. Because, you know. But yeah. I am in Virginia. I've been doing. That's okay. Feel free to ask them. I look up periodically. I have to look at what I'm doing when I'm soldering, but I actually do look up to see. So if it takes me a second to answer your questions, just because I haven't looked up yet. I am in Virginia. I have been doing stained glass for close to a decade, probably a little bit more than a decade. I think somewhere right around a decade. And I've been selling it and doing shows for probably like 8 years. On top of my, actual job. So I've actually really cut down on shows this year in particular, just because I switched careers a year and a half ago. From being a teacher and having summers off where I could do shows every weekend and still have, time to myself, because didn't have to teach during the summer, during the week. But I do not get that luxury anymore. So I was like, I cannot do shows all weekend, every weekend anymore. I'm exhausted and I have no life. So I've cut back significantly on shows this year. I think it's at most 2 a month. Well, that'll change for Christmas season, but that's just because it's Christmas season. But and there are shows almost every weekend then. But in the summer, I used to have shows like every weekend too, and I really cut back this year. Even though it's been a terrible summer for going to the beach. No, I'm not a teacher anymore. I taught high school English. I'm an acupuncturist, actually. So I work in a hospital, which is why I have to be there at 7 a.m. tomorrow. And also why I don't get summers off anymore. But yeah, so it's been a lot more trying to push the online stuff rather than in person, but it is what it is. I did it for 5 years, 6 years. But hold on. No, I did it for 7 years. I taught for 7 years. And then I'm like, I can't do this anymore. The politics at it were ridiculous. There are no consequences for anything. I'm like, I can't. More power to you. I gave up. I'm like, I can't do it. It was not my jam. It was never my jam, but it was a job that, I could afford to live on theoretically, not really, because let's be honest, we don't pay teachers nearly enough. But which is why I started doing this actually as a business, because I needed more income than just teaching provided. Yeah. So that's why I started doing this, and then it just kind of took off from there. Give me 1 second. They do. And we expect teachers to have all of this education and degrees and everything else, and then we don't trust them to do their jobs. Then we micromanage them to the point that no one wants to do it anymore. Like, what's the point of me having all these degrees if you want me to be an expert in my field and then you don't trust me to be that expert? Yeah, so like I said, I'm out of that field. I love what I do now, and nobody micromanages me. I get to actually do my job. Um, you know, so it's much better. But yeah, it's no, no one should stick with a job that makes them miserable. Unfortunately, a lot of us have to at some point in our lives just because we want to, be able to afford to eat or have a place to live or anything like that, pay bills. As a welder, you're probably union, which means that, yeah, you really don't have to worry about a whole lot, which is nice. And no wonder you're doing metal stuff in your shop. Oh, I'm sorry. But no wonder you do metal stuff. I would love to learn how to do the metal stuff, but I wouldn't know the first thing about it. And I need another hobby, like I need a hole in the head because I'm that person who wants everything. Oh, well, that's good. That's a good thing. But no, I'm that person that needs a new hobby like they need a hole in the head because I want everything, every tool that I need for it, all the supplies at my house so that I can do it whenever I want to do it. And yeah, it's why I don't do glass blowing. Because I know myself, I want a hot shop in my house so that I can work on it whenever I want. Um, and I don't have the room for it. And B, yeah, no, I don't need that. Or it's also why I don't do fusing glass because I'll want a kiln. I'll need all new glass for that so that I could fuse it. Yeah, it's bad. I'm bad. I don't do things piece by piece. I'm like I have to have it all and I have to have it all right now. I want to try glass blowing too. I think it would be awesome, but I also know myself and I know that if I do, I'm going to be like, "Yep, I want it all now." We have the Chrysler Museum right here, which is huge glass thing. I do wood and resin stuff. If you look at my website, which I think is linked, you can see some of it. So it's all like it's wood that I cut out and then I paint it and then I pour resin on top. So every piece is, I mean, the shapes are the same for each piece. Like all the hammerhead sharks are the same shape and size, but the paint on them is totally different. So they all look different. But that's really hard for me to, I do that in my laundry room and it's really hard for me to move the computer set up there to film it. And it's super messy and I would get paint all over every piece of equipment that I have. So we're not going to do that on video right now. Anyway, maybe when I move, but not right now. I'm hoping that when I move, I have a space that's big enough for me to just do everything in because that would make my life so much easier. Yeah, I do. I knit and I crochet too. I've been doing that. My mom taught me how to knit, I think, when I was like 9 or something. So I've been doing that basically my whole life. And I go through phases with that where I won't pick up knitting needles or crochet hook for, a year and a half. And then I'll go on a kick and make like 20 things. It is. And most people that do something do lots of things. Hold on, guys. I gotta mute you for 1 second. Lady.
Yeah.
Spa Oriental.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Can you guys hear me again? I don't think I actually muted myself. I don't think that it worked. Can anyone hear me? Okay, fantastic. Sorry, my mom was calling. She's like, where did we go for massages? She's a friend in town and they want to go. Okay, good. But yeah, okay, good. You can hear me again. I need to throw this out. Give me 1 second. Okay. New solder roll, because you all just watched me go through that last one. It's been a minute since I used the microphone. I forgot where the mute button was or where the light for it was so that I could see if it was muted or not. I do. Yeah, I have. So when I first learned how to do it, I'll show you on the next line, especially with the solder. So when I was first taught how to do stained glass, we were told to put a very small line of solder on like this so that it's flat. I don't know if you can see the difference. Hold on, I'll show you. So this one that I just did is very flat versus this one that's rounded. And then you put a second layer on, the flat one to beat it up so that it's rounded. And at this point, I just usually put one stripe on, one line, and it's rounded. And I can go back and touch it up if I have to. That's a big one. My soldering has gotten a lot better after doing it for so long. I still think my soldering's terrible, but when I look at other people's stuff, like at craft shows and whatever, or if I see other people's stained glass, mine's actually not bad. It's on par with other professionals, so I'm good with that. I'm very much, I always feel like I'm, not always, I often feel like I'm an imposter. It's that imposter syndrome. Like I should, like, how am I doing this? Why are people paying me to do this? I don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't be doing it. But then I'm like, wait, I actually do know what I'm doing. But it's one of those, you always think everyone's so much better than you are type of things. Even if that's not necessarily the case. I do the foil wrapping. I do that too. So I do all of it. Like this is the next thing I'm going to make. So it's on, I already glued it onto the glass. So I'll cut this out after I get these soldered. But then I have to grind them and my grinder's on a different table. So I usually do that. Not on camera, also because the grinder's just that noisy. And then I'll usually take them to work to foil in between patients. So I do it all. I foil them too. Cause you have to foil them. The solder doesn't stick to the glass. It only sticks to the foil. So you have to put foil on it. But I just do that part off camera usually. And cause it's so tedious to foil. See, I do the same thing. Even at work, like with my job, I'm like, I know what I'm talking about, but I'm like, I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes, and I'm just like, oh my god. But yeah. Like, I actually hate when I'm at craft shows and people are like, oh, I do stained glass too. I'm like, great. Because then I'm like, so you're going to sell it, like, so you think that my stuff is like complete garbage? Great. But I know that's not necessarily the case. It's totally imposter syndrome. It totally is. And I know that. So I just go with it and don't really let it bug me. But, you know. So if I don't have craft shows on the weekend, I usually try to do work in the morning, like when I first get up. So either around this time or a little bit earlier, depending on how late I slept in. Just because that seems to be when I'm the best. I'm the most aware and awake and all that fun stuff. But when I'm during the week, if I do it, it's after work. Because, yeah, I gotta work. Okay, those are two are done now. So I have one more of these to solder, and then we'll put the frame on all of them. But I'll put the frame. I'm saying we, like there are multiple people here. Then I will put the frame on all of them. I might need more coffee. It might help if I actually finish my coffee. 7:30 or 7 to 3:30 actually. So I get up nice and early. But yeah, it's a Monday to Friday. It's which is also nice. Right? Like I'm like like there's other people here that are gonna yeah. No, it's just me, I promise. I lost my fid someplace though between when I foiled all this stuff and getting home, so I'm gonna have to find a new one. I'm gonna have to use the one that I don't like to foil stuff from now on, which I'm not looking forward to. Okay. Okay. Let me square it up. And then sorry, there's sometimes that I just can't talk while I'm doing something because I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm special like that. Okay, that's good. I'm so tired of soldering these. I got to tell you, after 3 of them, I'm bored with them. So I started streaming in April, I think. So not long. And then, like I said, I haven't actually streamed in like a month and a half because I was busy. So streaming, I have not been doing long. Kind of learning it as I go. And it probably doesn't help the days that no one wants to talk, that I just kind of do my thing and don't really talk. But again, I don't really want to talk to myself because I just feel really weird doing that. So, oh God, I do. You know, it makes life so much easier. Um, so these are actually made for squaring up stuff for stained glass. It's because it's so hard to keep it squared up otherwise. And I have like, if I do like the 3D spinner stuff, and I don't have any of it here because I just took it all down to my mom's where I would show you. Because I used to have it, all of my extra stuff right next to me. But you have to use tools, especially with stained glass, because half the time you need like a third hand or something. But like if I make spinners, hold on, I'm going to turn the other camera on so you can see. I use this because then you put a piece here, piece here, piece here, piece here, and it's so much easier. And because then it's squared like it needs to be. But yeah, it's been really good so far. Which is why I was like, let me actually get back to it, because yeah, I always make, but I do a lot of, I guess you would call it production stuff, because I'll make like 3 or 4 of the same thing all at the same time. But no, it's been good so far. Like I said, there are a couple of times when I'm like, no one wants to talk, and I'm like, I get it, but it's so much better when people chat, because then I can actually, respond and not feel like I'm talking to myself. Um, so I appreciate it. I don't. What is Moco made? Okay, you have to give me more than that. What is Moco made? No, no, you're good. I'm just giving you a hard time. You can't tell me you're going to change my life and then not give me the rest of it. Okay, how they promote sharding? No, I got it. It was just the way you said it. I had to laugh at it. Okay. And they're on Twitch? Oh, nice. I'll have to look them up. Okay. And yes, as for the noon to 6, oh my God. Who has time to stream for that long every well, I mean, I guess if it's your full-time job. I guess if it's your full-time job, I understand that. Okay. I don't have that kind of time. I am. So the brush is flux. It absolutely is. The solder doesn't really, you could see when it was kind of getting bubbly, there wasn't enough flux on. So yeah, it was the, do you like my destroyed flux brush? It's old and raggedy and it works. But yeah, I got to put flux on it. They host workshops. That's fun. What kind of workshops do they host? No. So if I don't put flux on, I'll show you on the back side. It actually, the solder barely sticks to it and doesn't really, it's not smooth. It's really gloppy and it's really hard to get it to actually adhere at all. So the flux lets it stick and apply smoothly. And if you put too much flux on, that's actually when it gets all bubbly. Or bacony. It splatters like bacon sometimes. That's always fun. Hot solder landing on you. Yeah, delightful. Oh, nice. That does sound like fun. I started a Discord channel, but I never actually did anything with it. Like I created it and that was it. I'm still relatively new to this stuff. Still working on it. I would love if I could make this my full-time job, but that's probably never going to happen. So I just do it when I have time now. No, it sounds like a lot of fun. I'll have to check it out. Assuming, I'm actually home in time any of these days. I would love to be able to do that. But I'd rather not be a starving artist. So, there's that aspect. I'm going to be so happy when I'm done soldering these. Pretty much, Hogan. Okay, almost done with this side. So, hold on. Sorry. Brain fart. So, do you see how it's getting kind of lumpy here? Well, you actually probably can't see it. I need more flux. Who are Devin and Derek? Oh, they're the Moco siblings. Okay, I got you. Okay, let me. That would have been tragic. I almost knocked my flux over, which in itself would have been fine, but it would have gotten all over like my microphone and everything else, and that would have been tragic. It's flux. So the solder doesn't really stick to the glass or the foil here. If I just try to, I didn't flux this yet. Do you see how blobby that is and not smooth it is, and how it doesn't really stick? Like that is not a good line right there. So I have to put flux on it, which is this, and then it gives it a smooth line. So I'm just putting flux on all of the foil. So I can get that smooth, so that I can get the smooth line on it and that it actually looks right. It actually doesn't stick to the glass at all. That's why we have to put the copper foil on it. The solder sticks to the foil, not to the glass. Like I could put it on the glass. I can't even get it to stick on the glass. But it sticks to the foil. So I don't know what chemical flux is. I just know it is flux. Which I think it's pretty standard. Anyone who works with solder of any kind has to use it. But yeah, also Hogan, going back to the earlier thing, I've been doing this for an hour now, and none of them are even finished. The conversation about the pricing on handmade stuff. When everyone thinks that handmade stuff should be cheaper. Like, no, it takes a lot longer. We're an hour in and none of these are done. Oh, people always think that handmade stuff should be cheaper. Like they come to craft shows and they're like, "What's the lowest that you'll go on this?" And I'm like, it has a price tag on it. It's handmade. Supplies are expensive. My time is expensive. Oh, I don't charge enough for my stuff. I know I don't, but I charge enough that it covers the supplies and I make some profit. So I'm okay with it. Because if I charged what I should charge, no one would be able to afford anything. And that's part of the issue. A lot of fiber arts really have that issue because they're like, if I charged you what I should charge for what a handmade sweater actually should cost for time and supplies, like no one would be able to buy it. It would be like $1,000 sweater or more. No, they really don't. That's always a good thing. See, I my stuff is so hard to do that because like I'll buy a sheet of glass, which hold on, I'll show you. A sheet of glass could be like this big or bigger or smaller, but I could depending on what I'm using it for, I could use one sheet of glass for a lot of different projects. So it's so hard to do it like that. It's not like it's one sheet per project. So it's so hard to figure out how much I actually like. You see the size of this one, but you also see there are how many different colors in it. So what I used from each sheet of glass is so small. So, you know. But so for the instance, this one I saw this for like $90. Um I sell most of the ones that are this size for around $90. Sometimes more if they have more pieces, but just because the more pieces, the more time it takes. Right, and I use a lot of like I'll save most of my glass. Like if I finish one of those sheets, I'll put it over on the side, and I have um that's like scraps. I separate the scraps out by color. When I only need like a little bit of one color, I just use that rather than a new sheet. So but I have all different sizes. So my lowest, I think my most inexpensive stuff is like $25 or $30 at this point. So when people are like, "Your stuff is so expensive," I'm like, "It's 20. There's stuff for $25 or $30. Like I don't know how much cheaper you want me to go." They're little, just little sun catchers, but they're there. Okay, done. Well, not done, but they're soldered. Okay, now I have to cut some zinc. Now it's gonna get loud for a second. Right, and that's what I do. That's why like the little stuff is like $30. So it is what it is. Um Sorry that it's going to be loud for a second. I have to cut. Nope, not big enough. Okay, that's what I needed to know. I know, but it's gonna be for like every cut. I have to do it for every cut. So it's just gonna be a second. I just wanted to warn you. Sometimes people don't like loud noises. Oh, good. Okay. I'm glad it doesn't pick up on the microphone because I have a lot of cuts that I have to make because I have to frame 4 of these. Or 3 of these. Sorry, I can't count. 3. They are, especially when my coffee is still half in my cup. Now it's done. Now I need to make more. I hate framing things, if you can't tell. Especially when it's a new piece of zinc. They're so stinking long. Okay. Okay. Now we're good for a moment. Okay. Yeah, I squared them. So if you saw when I was soldering them, were in that frame to square them off, so that I could actually put the frame on now. But now I have to solder it to the frame. So these are all panels. I don't do all panels. It just happens to be that these are panels. The ones that I'm about to cut out when I get these done are not panels. They're just free forms. I like beachy stuff the best. I just actually, and I just made some witches butts for Halloween that are super stinking cute, and I actually really like making those. They're posted on the Facebook page. They haven't made it to the website yet. Witches booties. They're butts. Hold on. I have a picture on my phone. I'll show you. Give me a second. Can you see it? Witches booties. They haven't made it to the website. They're just on the Facebook page. I will put them on the website, but that requires a computer versus my phone because I have to make a new listing and all that other stuff. And I just haven't been on the computer lately to do it. And I only finished them like 2 days ago. So, you know. Honestly, moving forward, I would like to do it a couple days a week, which is what I was aiming for before. But my schedule is so random that I can't commit to. I'll always be on at 6 o'clock on this night. And the other part of that is this is my sunroom. When it gets dark out, it gets really dark in here, and I only have one floor lamp, so it's really hard to see anything. For me to see anything, let alone the cameras. Like I said, on the weekends, if I don't have a show, I usually try to jump on in the morning for a couple of hours. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I wish that I could be more specific than that. Okay, hooks need to go on this one, and then this one gets a patina, and it is done. Okay, I'm going to clean it off. I'm going to put a patina on it. Thank you. Okay, now I need to clean it again. And then this one's done. I do. I have cats and dogs. The dogs are outside. The cats, I'm actually surprised, have not made an appearance. Usually one of them at least likes to walk across while I'm working. Okay. First one is officially done. So an hour and a half, and I finally have one done. Okay. Oh, no, you're good. You're good. No worries. Yeah, I have cats and dogs. Dogs are outside. I don't know, barking at my neighbor's dogs, I think. Who knows where the cats are? They're special. They're probably sleeping on the bed, honestly. 4 cats, 2 dogs. 75-pound dogs. One's a pit bull, one's a husky. Well, they're both mixes, but one's a pit mix, one's a husky mix. My husky is actually the calmer of the two dogs, amazingly. Don't ask me how that happened. Big dogs are fun. Yeah, they do. Okay. Measuring this and cutting this is the worst part of framing, I swear. Okay. 2 down, hopefully soon. 2 almost done. So my husky loves my mom. Like, loves her. But when she was here, when they were living here, in the morning, my mom usually got up and let them, like, she would let them out before I would be ready to come downstairs in the morning because I'd be getting ready for work. And so she would call the dog, she would call them to let them out. And my husky won't even, like, doesn't even flick her ears in the morning when my mom calls her to let her out. Because I'm not downstairs yet. Any other time of the day, as soon as my mom calls her, she's like her best friend. She's like, yep, I'm here. You can love me. In the morning, she's like, nope, I'm good. I'm staying in bed. Like, I don't know who you're calling, but I know it's not me because that's not my name. I'm definitely more of a cat person than a dog person, but I love them all. Oh, yeah. See, I'm so glad I don't have allergies because it'd be very sad. My cats act more like dogs anyway than most cats do. Like, they come when you call them, they greet you at the door, they actually like attention. So, I had a Newfie and a Samoyed growing up. Newfies are just big, big. They're both cold weather dogs. Newfies are huge. Like, ours was small at like 125 pounds, and Samoyeds are like um, big white fluff balls. Neither of which are hypoallergenic. Yeah, they are. They're special. And they want to be lap dogs, the Newfies. I'm like, you're too big. Don't care. They want to be lap dogs. Okay, hooks need to go on this one. And then this one is done. Big dogs always want to be lap dogs. My Pit wants to be a lap dog, and I can't stand it because he wants to cuddle, and there's no such thing as too tight. Like, he wants to be as close as he can get. And I'm like, it's like 90 degrees out. Get away from me. Okay. Hooks are on. Cleaning. Oh, you're good. I think I'm going to be done after I get the last one framed too. Have a good rest of your day. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat something after I get the last one framed, honestly. So you're good. I appreciate it though. You too. Thank you. Okay. One more to go. Last one. Okay, I'm almost done with these. And I think I'm going to stop when I'm done because I'm hungry and I need to go get something to eat. I might be back later. I don't know. We'll see. What else I've got going on? Okay, 2 hooks and I am done. Basically. Okay, guys, I am done. This one is done. Hooks are on. I'm gonna say I will see you later. I might be on later. I might not be. I don't know. It'll depend what else is going on and what the weather's like outside. But in the meantime, have a good rest of your day.